this. So they have Aziz.
Wait, I'm in the motor.
It's right around 6 o'clock is whenever they throw him out of the plane. So right around 5:50, Pigeon starts calling Rami inside the prison, and he starts calling him like 5 times in the span of like a few minutes. If the two GPS locations, let's say I call you Slack, we talk, I hang up the phone, and then I call you again 30 seconds later. If I'm in an aeroplane, my pings will be really far apart.
100%, right? Because you're moving too fast for it to keep up.
Exactly. Or I'm moving over water, or I'm moving on top of places where there are no roads. So I wrote down 2 subpoena requests for a small window of time for Suarez and Pigeon. And if the GPS thing is granted, then it's either going to exonerate him completely or it's going to have them dead to rights. Because yesterday, another person approached me, a person off the record, and they said, I don't want you to use this in anything, but I know you've been working on this case. Pigeon admitted to us yesterday.
We don't have the mechanics for the GPS data location, unfortunately.
They told me that.
I can't wait for that, man. I hope that comes back. I mean, I see what you're saying here, and I'm reading the subpoenas you're talking about, right? And I'm all for it. If we can get the GPS location data for the calls and texts, you got them where you want them. That will be the slam dunk that you need, right?
It's like I don't see any other way of having proof that it was them, because a plane is so different than a car. The pings of a plane in between each phone call will be so much greater than the possibility of a car or a pedestrian.
I mean, I'm looking at the subpoenas right now. The one you wrote for Pigeon, the subpoena 8091. It looks good.
Okay,
I mean,
hold on.
Nico, you're not allowed in here.
He sucks.
Hey. I do have somebody with me, Coyote, who is an officer who I trust when it comes to you know, any information, things like that. So hopefully it's not an issue.
Completely okay. Not an issue at all.
Nice to meet you.
Likewise, likewise.
All right.
So, yeah.
What's going on with you?
A lot.
Are you still part of the BBMC or
no?
Why'd you leave?
Let's get a few things straight to clean that up. I was honestly just looking after a friend of mine. That's how I would put it.
1080 Westbound Integrity Way.
What the fuck is happening up here?
I got into some deep shit that I didn't really like getting into, and unfortunately that involved me doing something that I will probably never be able to forgive myself for, because I never did it before that. And I think you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Talking to the cops?
No? I'm talking about when I was with BBMC. I've done stupid shit. And I don't like what I've done. And I honestly to be completely honest, I'm trying to change my life around, and that starts with coming clean about a lot of things, because part of me wanting to turn my life around is also wanting to do what I came to do in the city originally.
Which was?
Join the PD.
You want to join us?
I know. I do. And I have a very good reason to that I think even you would respect, if I'm being plain.
Even if it means to be a bigger target on your back because you used to be an ex-gang member. I mean, knowing Erwin Dundee, he's gonna lose his shit when he sees you in a cop uniform.
Wouldn't bother me. I have to, Slacks, I have to prevent in some capacity what happened to me happening to other people. In some
Can you elaborate
capacity, I
more on
have
that?
to prevent it.
Are you able to share more on that? So at least I can understand your
Absolutely.
perspective
I'm
on
gonna be an
things.
open book. Well, what I want to prevent is being hunted.
Chat, you go where you're
kidnapped,
wanted.
Shot. Taken
Can you blame her?
advantage of,
Can you blame her?
things like that. Because I was a person that didn't have a lot to my name, and they took advantage of that because they knew they could. Because I was willing, and I was willing because I didn't have a lot. And there are a lot of people out there who are in the same exact situation as me, who feel that they need to do the same. And I feel because I've been through it, and I've been kidnapped, shot, stabbed, whatever it may be, I feel that it is now justifiable for me to feel that I need to prevent that happening to other people.
And how do you prevent that from happening to other people?
By being on the proper side of the law is a good start.
Okay.
And I'd say the second start to that would be being in the LSPD, where I have the resources to do that, where I'm able to protect those people who were in that situation when I wasn't able to be protected, because I 911 3 times and nobody showed up when I was being chased. And I saw 3 cops chase a guy on a bike that was doing nothing wrong. Or maybe he did something stupid, but whatever it wasn't more important than what was happening with me. No offense to them.
Understood. I know that happens often. But I'll give you my perspective. Sometimes you have to pick and choose your poison when there's a lot going on. And there's some high priority things taking place that are very important that we gotta take care of. And I'm sorry that nobody could respond to you now once.
Comes back to remedy.
Well, it was right at the PD, is the thing. And while they didn't respond, I don't hold any animosity towards them for that. I look forward and
Did any
see it
calls
as
come
an
in from that? Not even a
opportunity
911
to be
call?
that change rather than make it a problem.
Can I interject here with just one little comment?
Yeah, sure.
I love what you're doing because a lot of people point out the stuff that's wrong, and I always say, please put in an application, help it be better. That attitude, I think, is so fucking important in the city, the one that you're displaying right now, especially with the dangerous road that is up ahead if you sincerely commit to what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. I appreciate that.
My question to you that you're gonna hear often from the PD members is, why should I believe you? Why should I trust anything coming out of your mouth, right? How do I know you're
I'm gonna
not
give
doing
you a
this?
reason. You'll see. It's gonna take time. I don't expect it to happen overnight. I don't expect this conversation to result in anything more than just me giving you information. And when stuff comes out of that, maybe you trust me a little more. Maybe you don't. And if you do or don't, it's not gonna change anything, because I'm still gonna be the same exact person I am now. I'm still gonna continue on the path I am.
I understand.
Still gonna go down.
So,
And,
can you tell me why you left the BBMC?
Well, I was never really with them, so I don't think saying I was
I
with
see.
them is
You were a
proper,
hang
but
around prospect,
yeah. That's a good way to put it.
and what led to the breaking point where you walked away?
A lot. And we'll get into that. But I'd say the biggest thing was realizing what was happening. Kind of just having like a, I don't know if an existential crisis is the proper word for it, but I kind of just realized everything going on. Like, actually looked, I looked from a different perspective when I realized what I was doing, I guess.
Well, like I already said, I'm glad that you're able to pivot. Because a lot of people in Los Santos especially are so stuck in their ways and not willing to change. But the fact is you saw, you know, how things can change. And you start to open your eyes to what is happening around you. And you want to do something about it. That's great. And I'm rooting for you. And I hope it really works out. And hopefully one day we can patrol together.
I appreciate that. So let's get down to what's important. I was told that you are the lead, or one of the leads of a new unit, the investigation unit.
Correct, yes. Director Slacks.
Mm-hmm. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
I have information on where BBMC keeps their shit. Keep things very
Yes!
clean and simple. I know where to put
Finally! I'm
everything.
gonna make Erwin Dundee bend the knee. How credible is that information?
Incredible. I've seen it. I've been in there.
Is it the one that is off Innocence or Vespucci?
It is. Let me look at my GPS on my phone.
That's the thing though. Like Max had K bend the knee, and I'm surprised not take it. Like,
By the
how
B
many
on
people can
Bay City
say
Avenue.
they made Chain Gang bend the knee? You said by Bay City Avenue?
Yep. Right on the beach.
Who owns that property? Do you know?
Flops, I believe. Flops Raymond, I think.
Why would they place it in his name? Somebody who's been known to do crime with him as a gang member. Isn't that risky?
It's BBMC. They don't care. They since we're speaking plainly, I guess I'll even be honest with you. The reason I know why it's there is because it had to be moved from one place to another. And one of those places was my house at one point.
Oh, I know. I know about the warehouse they had. I was running an investigation regarding their money laundering service where they're offering $500,000 worth of money being laundered every single day to folks as a service to the criminals in Los Santos, of course.
You know who they're doing it with?
Besties, Chain Gang, who else? I'm missing in the group.
Ming, Fanny. They have a whole book of a bunch of phone numbers, actually, of the people who they do it with.
Hmm.
And I have I may or may not. I'm not saying this because I'm trying to hide it from you. I actually need to find it. I took a picture of that book when it was in my house. I just have a lot of Toad pictures on my phone.
What was the significance of this book? Can you say that again?
It is the phone numbers of everyone that they run money with. Pretty much their master, like, booklet of names of, hey, this is who we affiliate with. These people are approved to do this, that. Go to this person, call this person.
DJ, from now on, we never meet like this ever again, okay? Understood? Never like this ever again. I know the BBMC, just like as well as you know them. As soon as they see you talking to cops, or they suspect you talking to cops, they will get a hunting party. They will search the whole entire island. What do you mean?
They already have. That's why I'm not driving my car right now. It's not stolen, don't worry.
Are they looking for you?
Actively? Right now? Probably not. But they were.
Okay. I'm just worried about your safety. I am. If they get even a whiff of this, they will go crazy. That is a BBMC way.
And unfortunately, I feel like I am obligated as myself to do what I can, not only to establish that boundary of trust with the PD, but to do what I can to help out in the future, even if it puts me at risk.
And I do appreciate the valiant effort you're showing today to try to share that information with us. To show that, hey, I'm willing to, learn from my mistakes, and I'm willing to show you that I'm trying to do good here. However, I think there needs to be a proper way of us meeting and talking in the future, anything related to this, because of how severe and sensitive the information that I worry that anybody, a random stranger, some asshole walking around here seeing us, might say something, and eventually it will carry over and reach their ears.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand. We definitely need... Honestly, I was kind of thinking that the best way, in my opinion, the most simple way is just fake an arrest. Get me in the cells. They can't do anything down there.
We could probably do that, of course. Or we could meet plain clothes, off duty, maybe somewhere far from, just... we can appear like we're hanging out with friends. But I'll get that set up. I'm going to get you a new phone. We're going to get you a way of contacting us, or where we can talk back and forth. I don't want to risk this. We've had too many Charlie Idas in the past get hurt. So, it'll be a slow process, but it'll be worth it.
I don't just want to be a CI, though, Slacks. I want that to be clear.
I understand that.
Because I want to be a CI. I'm telling you this also because when I'm done with my expungement, the first thing I am doing is walking into PD, and I will take an application or an interview or whatever.
Right, and as soon as they know they applied for the police department, they'll do everything they can to make you forget all the things you knew about them, right? And that's why I'm not saying this because I want you to be my criminal informant. I'm saying this because I want you to live. I want you to survive. I want you to be able to do what you said, lay it low, get your record expunged, and eventually apply to the PD and hopefully get accepted.
Can you be honest with me?
Of course.
How bad is it gonna be when even if I have officers that would vouch for me and stuff like that? How, I'm basically trying to ask, when I get expunged and I apply, I don't want to have to sit for a while, you know?
Right. And that's something I cannot make a promise on, or lie to you about, or giving you false hope here, DJ. I don't handle recruitment. I recommend people. I give references. But your work with us and what we're doing right now is I hear a tow truck. They drove away. Your work right now, what you're doing with us, obviously could be good for your resume to show, hey, this person has done this. They want to help out. Their actions speak louder than words because of what they've done. And everything will be documented for SIB and your involvement. So when the day comes and you apply, you can say, okay, we definitely recommend this person. This person is trustworthy. We've worked with them. They've definitely changed, and we believe will be a great fit for the PD.
So what can I do now other than...
Change your ways, be a good person. Shows that you have good values, principles and morals that reflect the LSPD.
Look after yourself. Be very careful so you make it to that point.
Very careful, and like I said, do not be very friendly with cops in the public, because the BBMC's got eyes and ears everywhere, and that's not the only gang down there in Vespucci. Them getting attacked and hurt affects other gangs, like for example Chang Gang, who's down there as well with them, who basically calls the shots, right? So it could have a ripple effect, and I'm saying that it's not a BBMC matter. This could be a Vespucci matter. So lay low, don't bring any attention to yourself, make them forget about you if you can.
Yeah, I've pretty much cut every single bit of them out. There is a...
Go ahead, sorry.
No, you're good. There is one thing that I think is a bit important.
Is it involving the homicide or the murder of somebody?
Aziz.
Oh my god.
You know, when this conversation was over, I was going to ask you about it. I read your name a long time ago in the report, and I've been thinking a lot about you without you even knowing. We have very little on the day of Aziz being taken, and the only little bit we have is a half-informed comment made in passing by a certain DJ.
What do you know about that?
I know who did it.
Oh
I know
my god!
Well, I think it's pretty obvious who did it, but
Who?
I know two of the people involved.
And who are they?
God, this stings for me to have to say.
It's Mr. K. I know for a
told
fact it's
Pornward
Mr.
that
K.
Cao Mao was not directly involved, but he was in the plane when it happened.
Or Eugene. If there's a Mr. K or Eugene, it has to be one of them.
And I personally have heard from the same people I heard the cow thing from, which
Oh, it's JP. You're right.
is
You're right.
Cal himself.
So he told you
uh,
himself that he was there. That
he was
day it
involved,
happened?
that they kidnapped him from a traffic stop, and that they took him on a plane.
Did he
And
mention
that-
who was there?
Pretty sure they said Lil Tugs was also there.
Oh, Lord Tugs! I'm only that
Those
thing,
are
huh,
the two
man?
names that I have: Tugs and Cow.
Did they mention anyone else?
Chat, it doesn't matter what we know, though. It's what you can prove,
I don't
man.
think so.
You always know that. It doesn't matter
It
what.
was just, I actually can't think of any other names. I
You-
know
you know-
Cow, Tugs, and they kidnapped him from the traffic stop and pushed him out of the plane.
Do you know why? Or did he at least tell you why?
Why they did it?
Mm-hmm.
Because they needed a cop to put in the prison for the attention. Sorry, that was a really bad sentence. They basically needed to have a cop in the prison to make you guys go there, from my understanding.
So,
It was
so you
bait.
are you sure that it was Tags and Cow?
Yeah, that's what Cow is. I was sitting in La Puerta. I will. You know what? I'm gonna tell you exactly what I was doing. I was sitting on La Puerta watching
Selling
a
drugs.
bunch of people sell weed by that pool. You know what I'm talking about?
Uh-huh.
By that. Yep.
Yeah, by the
And,
apartments, right?
Yeah. You got. Cow was selling. He was giving people a bunch of food from his taco place, and he was saying that, oh, we just did a job with CG for like the first time, and it was fun, this and that. And I asked him, oh, what'd you do? And then he told me about, oh, we dropped Aziz into the prison from a plane.
Interesting.
Like, actually, bar for
So-
bar.
So when does he mention the other name that you just brought up?
That was mentioned later when everyone was kind of in a group talking about it. I don't know. If it
No,
was Cal
we have 3
directly that
days before the
mentioned
statute of limitations is up
Tugs'
for
name, but I remember it
Aziz
being
murder.
brought up as him being involved.
You know-
A lot of people on that block kind of just talk because when people are selling down there, they feel very bored, so they just kind of talk randomly.
I mean, selling weed is a social event, isn't it?
Anybody else being in the
That's the whole
plane that
purpose of
day?
selling weed. It's supposed to be like a social thing you do down the block, you know?
I didn't, unfortunately. I just know it was whoever was outside that time, most likely. If I had to give you like from a detective investigation standpoint, I would have to guess that whoever wasn't in prison at the time that was affiliated with CG was
Yeah,
probably
the
in
prison
that
is
house.
lawless, but kidnapping
How many
somebody
people, if you had the
outside the
chance to
prison and
guess,
throw them
will
in
you
there
claim when you
is
say?
against the law.
3 or 4 probably at least.
You know, I just want to say that I don't think there is a more important case in the city right now than Aziz's. He was a pillar of the PD.
I would say
He
Solomon is
was
pretty big too
killed,
as
and
well.
in 5 days, that is all that's left to find who did it. And
He's
to
the
be able,
reason that I'm changing.
is Aziz?
His death fucked me up.
Wow, she cared about Aziz?
Hey, he was the only cop that I could actually look at, I could talk to, and I could say, if I was a cop, I'd want to be just like that person.
Can you please recall, to the best of your ability, where you heard tags be mentioned? Like, did you remember seeing somebody say it? Like the context in which it was said?
Look at that fucker Nino Chavez around, man. Can we perma Nino Chavez? Is that possible? Can I get the perma whitelist, please, in
We
NoPixel?
were all in like a circle at that hotel place. They were selling, I wasn't. I hadn't been selling for several weeks at that point. There was Dundee, Tommy. I think Kaiba might have been there, or it was Rusty. Cal, and I think Pigeon might have been down there. I know Paris just came down in her pink car. I don't remember what kind of car it is. I think it's a Vigero. I don't remember. And she was saying, "Oh, I have a present for you," and she gave Rusty a bunch of food or some shit.
You said Pigeon was there. Do you recall Pigeon saying anything?
Pigeon? I feel like he's the one that might have initiated it, but I genuinely, I don't want to misspeak.
Initiated what?
The conversation about Aziz.
Interesting. How? This is gonna be really hard to pin down because it was so long ago. But do you recall what time of day it was and how soon after the incident of Aziz dying did this rendezvous take place in La Puerta?
This was, I think, a day after. And
So this was the following day?
I believe this was the following day, yeah. And I don't want to, I really don't want to absolutely 100% say that it was Pigeon for sure. That said anything about that. I do know that Tug's name was mentioned in that circle conversation that involved Cow and everybody down there, the BBMC guys.
So pretty much it's common knowledge in that
Apollo's making a new cop character, chat.
circle of people.
I think he might be joining the BCSO, but I'm not sure.
About it.
It's kind of sick how open they were about it, if I'm being honest.
That's because they don't care. That's why. These guys are barbarians, savages, animals. That's how they act.
That's where I kind of realized I was in the wrong place.
I want to ask you something else. And if any of this is too much, and you just let me know, okay?
Go ahead.
The day prior to Aziz dying, there was a massive shootout in the courthouse. Do you recall that?
The shootout in the courthouse?
See, the one that was videotaped.
Oh, what about it?
Do you know anything about the prior planning of that event?
I unfortunately do not.
Okay, that's fine. Just a shot in the dark.
I wanted to ask you something that was not about the Aziz case whenever you're done, of course.
Yeah. Whenever you guys are done with.
Let me
the
know when
suspension.
to pivot.
Go ahead, Slack.
I wanted to ask you about Solomon Walker. Do you know anything about that? As far as his involvement, city council, anything you heard in the streets during your time with the
I've
BBMC?
seen him go in the house, Mr. K's house.
Interesting.
Cul-de-sac.
When was that?
I couldn't give you a time. In the last month, I'd say it's like a good time frame.
Do you often see him with members of Chain Gang, or when do you usually see him?
I wouldn't say often.
Hey, what up, Sonny?
I would see him. I wouldn't see him much. I feel like I'd see him more with what's their name? The other group.
The Manor.
I don't think I've seen him with CG too much. I feel like I've seen him with ADMC more than I've seen him with even the Manor too.
Hmm. Okay.
I do have my own speculations, but I don't have like any direct like information about Solomon, I'd say.
What are your speculation? I'm kind of curious.
Well, seeing as the streets have kind of been talking a bit, and Solomon was kind of like sussed out in a way, I guess, because it didn't appear like he got shot. So people were kind of suspicious that he knew or knew something about it.
Okay.
So I have my own suspicions that he might have knew something was gonna happen, and if he did, that would be oof.
All right. Like I said, I'm just kind of curious. I like to hear what the streets are talking about, because sometimes there's just some truth to it. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what we know; it's what we can prove, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Give me
And,
1 second. I got to take this phone call. I do apologize.
You're good.
Addy?
Slacks, I got a dumb motherfucking security guard now clamping my shit at Senior Buns. I'm about to shoot him.
Deal with it within the proper boundaries of the law and call the
And
cops.
how do I
I'm out in the
did call
county.
the cops.
I'm out in the county. By the time I get there,
Gotcha,
okay.
gotcha. I called the cops. I don't know if there's anybody responding to it, but this motherfucker, he's doing extortion for $200, or he ain't.
I mean, is your car parked illegally?
No, not this time. No.
Take a picture of it, okay?
I did. No, I did. You want me to send it to you?
Yeah, send it to me.
All right, bye.
Thank you.
Someone with a little bit of street knowledge. Someone who's kind of been around the block, if you take my meaning.
I've been around a few times, yeah.
That is
More than a few.
Yeah, exactly. So I hope you don't lose the motivation at all.
I won't. The motivation's not going anywhere.
Oh, I
I'm getting
misled.
expunged
Clamp wrong.
regardless. I haven't done. I will be completely plain speaking. When I say this, I have literally done nothing in the past. I don't know, like, I think the last thing I did was when I had to lockpick a car because I was getting chased by 6 people with guns. So I had to drag a dead local out of his car and steal it. And then Maple pulled me over. I explained it to him, and he charged me with joyriding for it. That's the last thing I did.
Ay, ay, ay.
Yeah, I didn't really have a choice.
Who the fuck are these people,
It was
man?
fight or flight, and I.
Is this a
was
new
like,
guard?
"All right, local, you're dead. Your car is in better hands now." Cause I gotta go. I was hunted. I don't think I will be hunted. And Slacks, I don't know if you knew this, but I have gone on a ride along with Pinson already.
Yeah, but you're talking to Pinzone, you're not talking to me or Coyote. Once they see that, they're gonna start thinking that, hey, something's going on here.
Why would they think that after talking to you?
Because I've been investigating the BBMC. And they've
okay.
killed somebody who I was in a close contact with, who I only had not a lot of information about, but long story short is they found a guy who was not my Charlie Ida, who robbed my Charlie Ida of the information and had it on him. They found this person, they killed him thinking that it was a person that snitched.
Damn. That is, wow. Well, I don't think they suspect me for snitching or anything, so I think I'm good. Unless you give them a reason to. Even if they see me with you, I still don't think they would. In fact, I think it actually might be a power play to kind of just make expungement a little more noticeable than not. Maybe not.
That's a really good angle you're trying to expunge.
Like if I
That is really
if
cool.
if I say I'm expunging, then they're just gonna think I moved on with my life.
You maybe say, you know, you're gonna have to. Don't you need like some officers to vouch for you as well during an expungement?
I think I have a few already.
See.
I hope, and I hope I will. I hope at the end of this, I will have yours as well, if you're willing, of course.
We shall see. Baby steps, take it day by day. You know.
Yep.
I want to trust you, DJ. I do want to trust you, and I do think that you're telling the truth, what is coming out of your mouth. But like I said, it'll just take some time for us to build that trust over time.
Yeah, of course. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with however long it takes. Even if you asked me to establish trust by giving you my phone, I would. Like that's the kind of level I am at right now, where I am a complete open book. If you want to know something, I will let you know.
And like I said, I do appreciate that. I'm not sure if my paranoia is kind of kicking in or not, but I've had people that are very open. They're just too trusting, and they're too good to be true as far as the information they're providing. So I'm not saying you're lying like that. I'm just taking it, slow. That's all.
I completely understand. No, take it with like a grain of salt. I completely get it.
All right, then get in your vehicle, and I'll find a way to build a contact with you. Right now, we're currently working on our Charlie Ida SOPs to make sure that if we are in touch with you, if anything happens to me, somebody else knows what's going on, how to contact you, and how to protect you.
All right, sounds good to me.
All right, get in your car and get out of here. Also, once you drive, try to leave out the back if you can, the western exit.